is nice.
Yes. Very good.
Oh, this is very nice.
Yes.
This is, you're getting close to an overdraw.
Yeah.
Typically, you would do this with Changali bars because it's quite good at overdrawing. However, these guys have got big arrowheads on their arrows. I mean,
Yeah.
bigger than you'd normally use against people in armor, but still. Uh, I've got Indian arrows with arrowheads of exactly that shape.
Yeah.
And they have reinforced points, even though they're basically hunting arrows, but they would do serious damage. Uh, Now, the back of the point
Yes.
is at the level of the belly of the bow. Now, I did this with an Indian arrow once, a broadhead, because the broadheads were in line with the string. So when you drew them back, the broadhead would come in here, in between
Yeah.
the thumb and the bow. And that was really quite a stable thing. So that's what he looks like he's doing. The artist has a bit of a problem showing that, but I think that's what he's doing. He's showing someone getting to full draw.
Yeah.
They are definitely. I mean, they you can't tell in miniature whether they're meant to be close or they're meant to be half a field away. There's only so much room in a page of a
Yeah.
book to paint someone, so you've got to compress a lot of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I get the feeling it's either it's a Bahram on the way to being Changali bus because Bahram and Changali bus they're different because of wrist angle and a few other things, but they are part of a continuum. Changali bus is the extreme.
Yeah.
Um, Going back, you go Bahram, you get square, you get
Yes.
lion's grasp. But
Yes.
this is a it really gets the feel of it. They're drawing the Rishikesh.
Yeah.
You can because you can see their mouths, so that
Yes.
means the arrow must be coming along
Yes.
here. Um,
Yes.
and it's very straight. This is Safavid, isn't it?
Yeah. This is also yeah. Look at look at the hand bow
Yeah,
grasp.
the hand is. This is to me. This says Changali Butts.
Yes.
Um, you can see the index finger kind of retracted at the back there, so that the thumb
Yeah.
is basically covering it, but you can just see a bit of the knuckle. And this is somebody that really understands what they're doing. Um, he's showing the hand like that, which you get in certain draws. Uh,
Yeah.
the archer is shooting up slightly,
Hmm.
uh, probably for distance, because
Yeah.
he's shooting at somebody that's a bit further away. You notice how the buzzer band on the bow arm is turned, so he has to turn his elbow to be
Yeah.
straight, and that turns the buzzer band, which pulls it out of the way, so that
Yeah.
the tip of the buzzer band is
Yeah.
not in the way of the bowstring.
Yeah. That's right.
He's holding the reins in his drawing hand. Um, yeah, I would. I'm fairly sure that's meant to be Changali Bus.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at this.
oh, oh yeah,
Look how beautifully they're drawn.
yeah. That and the hand is perfectly drawn. Again, it's a bit high for a normal Changali Buzz, so it's more Bahrami. But again, this is somebody who had either seen archers up close shooting and remembered, or somebody who did archery.
Yeah.
Because that's an extreme level of detail. Uh, Even the position, like drawing along the cheek there, uh, could be a reaction. If it wasn't that grasp, if it was a square grasp, it would be drawing like this. But
Yes.
it's not. It's more Changali bars.
Yes.
Um,
Look at this one.
this is your basic lion's grip,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is.
And we're saying, he's a rough soldier. He's got 5 o'clock shadow, wonderful moustache. This is what like 18th century, 19th century.
Yes, 1819.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the thing is, they still knew how bows worked. I mean, a lot of people would have been using guns
Yes.
at this time, but the advantage of a bow was it could be the pistol equivalent for a cavalryman.
Yes.
Um, and of course, arrows worked on horses really well. Uh,
Yes.
we forget that sometimes it's not killing somebody; it's immobilizing them. And
Interesting, huh?
sometimes, yeah, sometimes I look at these and I think to myself, are they trying to show something much more sophisticated? Again, he's a right-handed shooter shooting left-handed. So the artist knew this is a sophisticated thing. You do this. He's done it because somebody is on his right
Yes.
flank
Yes.
coming up behind him. And
Yes.
if he couldn't comfortably turn far enough around to shoot
Yes.
left hand, well, right-handed.
Yes.
So he's shooting left-handed, which means he's holding the bow with the right hand.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've seen this in some other Persian manuscripts a bit older than
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
that they actually show the short draw saying this is to the audience saying it's harder to shoot when you're shooting with the wrong hand.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. I don't think it's a mistake or anything.
No.
I think it's the audience knows the people the people that paid for the book
Yes.
are probably actual archers and cavalrymen. They know what's really going on. They don't. The art form doesn't have the same concept of perspective as Western art did. That's just a choice. It's
Yes.
not. It's not that they didn't understand perspective. They weren't particularly interested in it.
Yes.
It didn't add something to these. I mean, you could imagine trying to do one of these battle scenes with full perspective in a page that's that big. It's not going to be useful. There's much more perspective when you see wall paintings in Iran than there is in these miniatures. Now, that's quite an interesting one. As I've seen more and more miniature paintings over the years, I've realized that there are some things that are mistakes, like the artist has flipped the figure because he's using a tracing. And there are some things that are deliberate when the artist is saying, you guys know, even the bow, look at the bow, it's closer to us than the horse's head is because he's shooting that way
Yeah.
and he's trying to get round further.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a number of manuscripts that talk about the advantages of being able to shoot with both hands,
Yeah.
left and
Yeah.
right-handed,
Absolutely.
and it's mainly considered an advantage in battle, I think,
Yes.
from the way I read it, anyway.
Yes.
And
Look
this
at
is
the
what you see.
grass, please.
This is again the lion's grasp. So we've got
Yes.
all four fingers around the bow and the thumb sitting,
Yes.
well, in this case, on top
Yes.
of the index finger, the side of the index finger. Um,
Oh, hold on. We had this already. Sorry. We had this already.
yeah, okay.
Look at this one.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Really interesting.
What you can say about these three archers is they have three different wrist positions. So one wrist down,
Yeah.
one wrist even, and one wrist up. So this is showing that there's more than just how the fingers hold the bow.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is how you direct the force back into your arm.
Yes.
They're all drawing quite well, sorry, all except for the person at the extreme back who
Mm.
is drawing high. The other two are drawing low.
Yeah.
One, you more or less say Rishikesh.
Yes.
The one in the middle is more drawing on the chest, Sinakesh. I think the one at the back in the yellow color, I
Yeah.
think this is an attempt to show Abrakesh.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that he has got the most straight wrist, like he has no raising of the wrist at all,
Yes.
is interesting.
Yes.
And we are shooting down from a wall onto people. And one of the things we discussed a while ago about Abrakesh is that
Yes.
it may have, well, it's said in
Yes.
some manuscripts to be on an advantage shooting down. Oh, Fath Shah, as Rustam.
Yes.
It's good to be king. Uh, See, this is shown as the lion's grasp by the position of his fingers, but I don't think it's meant to be. I think it's meant to be Baram.
Mhm.
The hand is a little bit chubby. It's not quite as well drawn as the earlier paintings. Um, it's a wonderful. This is
Yeah,
the post release
yeah,
extending of the arm. It's beautifully done. Um,
beautiful.
but they're showing a really straight arm on the bow, which is proper.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, there's no reason for him to use a square grasp in that position. You can use Baram.
yeah,
I think it's meant to be Baram, but they've accidentally shown the index finger um, straight. It's a bit odd. Do you notice that the middle and the little fingers are not actually shown terminating on the bow? They
yeah,
just kind of disappear.
yeah.
And I wonder if that maybe the hand was damaged and it's been repainted by somebody or something like that. See, the problem is I mean, this is what 130 years old, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Um, I think it's quite possible that things get fixed.
yes. So this is again
See that?
Rostam here, which is written his name here
Yeah,
as well. So both from Shahnameh, what we have seen.
yeah.
But this is Rostam, and you can see that he is shooting as well. And look at
This
the
is this
difference.
is more Chang'o Buzz, isn't it?
Yeah,
See how the thumb is bent and folded down over the middle finger.
yes.
Um, this one, the artist wasn't as good with the shoulders, but he was very good with the hand. This is another thing that you see. See the calmness in the face of the archer.
Mm,
He is totally concentrated. He's just released the arrow, but
yes.
he's not looking around or anything. He's
Yeah.
totally focused on what he shot at. All archers should remember to do that.
This one is lovely. Look at his hand.
Oh, that look at the index finger. You can see it curled on the back of the
Yeah.
bow.
I knew you
The
will love it. Look at this.
yeah, yeah. See, aside from the fact that he's a bit, but he just seems like maybe he's slightly affected by substances. I'm just looking at his face; it's so wonderful. But you see, this time the artist has gone to a lot of trouble to get that grip right.
Yes.
That's a real grip. Um, yeah, that's beautifully done. There's several things. I recognize the saddle shape, so I have an idea where this painting came from. Um, there's a few of them in the Kunsthistorische Museum in Vienna.
Hmm.
Saddles like this that were either given as gifts by the Turks or the Tartars or the Russians to the Habsburg emperors. But this is I know they were used in East, like Khorasan. They were used in Eastern Khorasan. Um, the This is actually interesting in a way that I hadn't thought of before. So he's maintained his grip. It is a Chang'e bars.
Yeah.
His wrist is now relaxed because he's let go of the arrow. He's done his follow through, throwing his hand up in the air,
Yeah.
but that's now relaxed as well.
Yeah.
His elbow on his bow arm is bent, not because that's how he's shot, but because this is the whole, the arrow's gone. He's descending into a state of relaxation,
Yeah.
getting ready to shoot the next arrow. So this
Yeah.
the tenseness is gone. The other thing,
Yes.
his waist is pressed against the pommel of the saddle, which
Yes.
is one of the things they talk about
Yes.
in the old books. But yeah, that is a very well drawn grasp.
Yes. Very well drawn, Chris. Oh, we talked about it already, didn't we? Yes, we did.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one as well. Look.
Oh,
It
is that is
is
that?
a bit damaged, but still, you can see.
Yeah, yeah. That I think might be a square grasp.
Yeah.
Oh, this is difficult. See, we're as viewers, we're choosing which part of this is an accurate part of the hand and which part is just a generic hand. And I'm looking at the
Yeah.
thumb. It's bent down, but it's kind of pointing out a bit to the
Yeah.
side. The
Yes.
fingers are not quite wrapped around the grasp. as
Yes.
far as we'd like. Now,
Yes.
this is clearly another Rustam.
Yes. It's just,
Um,
yes.
he's upgraded from a panther skin to a tiger skin. Well, they have tigers in Iran, or they did, um, around the Caspian Sea, I think, in the forests of Mazandaran. See,
Yes.
this is that is. You remember we were talking about how you mentioned that Baram is also called Khadang, and it means open. Look how open his hand is.
Yeah. Open. Yeah.
I mean, this is after his shot, so he's not, in the position that he would
Yeah.
have been holding, but this is
Yeah.
this is more relaxed.
Yes.
Um, See, this is the thing. There's subtleties in these that people at the time would understand that we are trying to, pin down to what they really mean. Um, he looks a bit worried.
Yes.
His eyebrows. Uh,
Yeah. We
yeah,
have come.
that's a nice.
We have
Yeah.
come to an end of our grasps. Okay, we talked about what we have provided and translated, annotated from Persian manuals, and then some backup from miniatures. They're wonderful, aren't they?
They are because I mean they show even though we can't say this or is this that precisely because
Yes.
again it's a painting. It's meant to give detail but not give you a manual of how the person is shooting.
Yes.
And to the people that viewed it at the time it was painting, they would see things that would stand out because they're practiced. They understand it. I mean, the whole upper class did archery in
Yes.
Iran, and it was the upper class that paid for the miniatures to be painted.
Yes.
So that's all very reasonable.
Yes.
I can remember an English author writing that you don't see very many thumb rings in Persian miniatures, and the answer is because probably they didn't bother to paint them. Everybody knew they'd be there. They're not interesting in
But some
miniature
of
paint.
them
An
have.
arrow, yeah, some of them do, and that's the argument is undone by the fact that some do. Um, I don't know. I just kind of like
But
the
again, we come back to this conclusion. We really come back to this conclusion. We come and go to some museums in London or New York. Sorry to say that I'm just talking on behalf of the English speaking world, and then
yeah
miss the rest of the world. Forget. Because it's important. You don't need to go to Russia or Iran or India or Mongolia. So just look what France has to offer. What we have talked about French museums, which are
yeah, and
also
this yeah
neglected. Bede, they're also neglected. It's not that, sometimes we
yeah
need to understand the word is not only as we all feel comfortable, I do also most of my things in English, as you know, although I speak other
yeah.
languages, but the word does not consist only of English speaking word, you right?
Yeah, I think it's a great disadvantage that more isn't done. I notice now in things like that are very English based, like HEMA and things like that, in medieval fighting and that they're starting to look at French produced things. They're starting to look at German. I mean, obviously they always like the armor.
Yes, of
Nobody
course.
nobody said, "Oh, I wouldn't want a nice Maximilian plate armor or something," but I think it's expanding more. Some of the people I talked to when we were in New Zealand together uh, were, quite interested in French manuals on fencing and things like that because they had different ideas and Spanish manuals. So oh well, Italian manuals. We can keep on going. The thing is that the more we expand out of this, what's essentially uh, I know this sounds bad, but it's kind of like a 1950s view of the world.
Yes, it is
Uh,
1950.
uh, because a lot of English people lived in southern France. Yeah, a lot of uh, French people worked in England. A lot of, all through Europe, people are exchanging and finding out more about their neighbor cultures that maybe they've been fighting for several hundred years. So this is broadening the scholarship.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think this is something really important because you don't want to make an assumption about something on the basis of too little data
Yeah.
because you generally make the wrong assumption if you do that.
Yes. Yes.
I the times I went to Korea for the traditional archery festivals there and met people from different cultures who were at different positions on the historical techniques that were going on. So some were using very early techniques and some were using very late techniques and whatever. But this is a whole thing. You've got to see them all together to realize that, oh, what, these work together.
Yeah.
This is the development of that. It doesn't mean because it's more developed, it doesn't mean it's better. It just means it's a different way of doing things, but has a historical link to something back there. And I really find that, well, we're talking French museums, German museums, Italian museums, Iranian museums, Turkish museums, Russian museums,
Yeah.
Ukrainian museums.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a whole world out there for us.
Yes. Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Pete. We are going to continue our discussions on Persian archery. I would suggest now we talked about draws and we also talked about grasps. So the next step, let's go and talk about positions described in Persian manuals, right? What kind of
Mhm.
standing positions, sitting positions, also shown in
Oh yeah,
miniatures. The reason is
yeah. This is
important. People call it,
what.
as we talked about it, like, oh, these composite bows were only meant to be used on horseback. I have
Yeah.
thousands of miniatures only,
Yeah.
which are on, and then all these manuscripts talk about foot archery, right? They don't talk
Yeah,
about horseback archery, right?
yeah. Horseback archery is something you learned from your dad or something like that. Foot archery, you went to a master to teach you. Uh, I think the perfect example is we've only got one detailed description of horse archery, um, and that is in Taibucha, in the what's translated as Saracen archery. That's the most complete description, and that is from one period only.
And in the
But the
Persian
rest,
manuscript we went through, only one mentioned horse archery shortly,
yeah,
and briefly, and talked about Sinekesh on horseback.
yeah. So horseback archery was important, but the majority of archers learned foot archery first,
Yes,
and the majority, I mean, uh, I think we've discussed this, and I've discussed this with other people as well. To be a horse archer, you've got to be a horseman first, not an archer first,
yes, you need to be a horseman first. Yes,
because it's relatively easy to teach somebody to shoot a bow. It's relatively difficult to teach them to be a good horseman.
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, it's a much more difficult art,
Yes,
and because there are so many different ways of being a horseman all over the world,
yes, yes,
that makes it even more complicated for somebody to work out what they're going to do. So I think foot archery. We know, for instance, that when the Mongols invaded Syria once, they all dismounted and shot from foot in a particular battle. We know there's a Persian painting of Timur fighting Tokhtamesh Khan
yes,
in the Russian steppes, and
yes,
there's a whole group of people have dismounted, are holding their reins, and they're shooting kneeling,
yes,
one knee on the ground. This the and all of the manuals talk about different forms of kneeling and sitting or squatting, as well as different stances when you're standing.
yes,
So that was a huge
yeah,
theme in all of the manuals. The ones we worked on, the ones translated by other people. Uh, it's very rare to get anything more detailed than that. You get on horseback archery. I mean, there's discussions in the book translated as Arab archery about things to do on horseback to train, but
yes,
none of them are actually about fighting. Taibuka talks about fighting. Um, the There's a Mameluke manuscript translated where strongly based on Abbasid and Persian origin thing, where they give you archery exercises like shooting from both sides of a galloping horse and all kinds of things like that. But they're not specific to fighting. The stuff on foot archery often talks about things you would do in battle.
yes, absolutely.
So we know a lot more about foot archery than we do about horse archery.
So my
And
suggestion, we talk about these positions and shown, and then for the next, the one we are going to talk.
yeah, yeah. And there's some actually really accurate paintings position as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they're really useful.
Yes.
That
Thank
looks
you.
to be a great subject.
Yes. Thank you very much, Vid, and I wish you a nice day. Thank you.
The same to you.